Hey folks, how y'all doing? Welcome back, an old man in the land of grills, folks. That's right, we're gonna do another look-see at the Weber Master Touch Premium, folks. This is a really exciting new grill, charcoal grill, into the charcoal grill market by Weber. And this has got some very innovative parts of this. And today we're gonna do questions asked, questions answered. Ask yours. So we did our first video, the unboxing assembly. I've gotten a lot of comments on that. I'm kind of taking a lot of the questions that I've gotten in that first video. I'm going to leave a link down below to that first video if you want to take a look. That'll be in the comment section, folks. Don't forget to subscribe while you're there. Tom Horseman at YouTube. And you know what? Let's get into your questions. All right, folks. One of the most innovative things of this kettle is the hinge on the lid. And I'm getting a lot of questions on it. People are asking what's made out of stainless steel. Someone asked if the springs are stainless steel. I honestly don't know the answer to that. But everything else is, people are asking that, hey, you know, this limits me. You can't remove the lid. And people are thinking you got to take all the bolts off. So I'm going to show you, you know, and I showed it in the first video too. And maybe, you know, some people don't get interest. So let's show how easy it is to remove the lid. So you've got right here, you've got a handle here, you know, and then you've got a handle on the other side, and you just take this thumb screw here, and you do this while the lid is open, and you just loosen that up, and then you just pull on this, and it comes right off, just like that. And then to put it back in, repeat, and tighten up. So that's how easy. So now, if you have the rotisserie attachment for your Weber 22-inch kettle, it'll fit on here. And if you want to use it, or say for instance you want to turn the lid around a little bit and you don't want to use the hinge, that's how easy it comes apart. A couple of turns of the thumb screw, folks, and you are golden. Pretty easy, eh? All right, folks are asking, what is the height of this grill? So, height of the grill, 33 inches there, to the cooking grate is 2 inches lower, so 31 inches from the ground to the cooking grate. Questions on the grill grate, is it stainless steel? And I honestly don't know this one for sure, but it doesn't look like stainless steel to me. It looks like it's chrome plated. All right, I've also had questions about the lid, and a couple of people said, hey, you installed it wrong. The handle, the whole lid is supposed to go over here. And that's not what Weber had thought here. And, you know, you can ask them what the reason is. And, you know, a lot of it is maybe they wanted that hinge to line up with one of the wheels on the bottom. I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the vent and, you know, for indirect cooking and not having your food totally at the back. I don't know. But for those of you who are wondering whether or not this was installed correctly, yeah, it was. The holes for the brackets, and everything's very well engineered here. The holes are perfect. That's not something you have to drill. They pre-drill them before they do the porcelain coating. So that porcelain coating goes in the holes too, so you don't have to worry about any rust. That hardware in there, that's all stainless steel, folks. Very easy to install. Like I said, if you want to see how I installed and put the lid on, Tom Horseman at YouTube. Like I said, I'll leave a link down below to the unboxing assembly video. The vent. Yeah, that's a lot of questions there. A lot of people are asking, why did they put the vent in the back? If you indirect, you always put your food, you know, where the vent is, and that means you're putting your food in the back. And once again, maybe that's the reason for the placement of the hinge off to the side, so that you're not 100% at the back. And you know, that'd be more of a question for Weber itself. You know, and the lid temp, people said, why don't they put the lid temp on the same side of the vent? I would agree with anybody who's saying that. I've done mods before to a Weber where I put an extra temp gauge on the vent side. So, you know, folks, I don't have the answer to this. I didn't receive this from Weber. I bought this on my own. So, you know, there's no collusion going on here between Weber and good old Tom Horseman. All right, questions on the charcoal grate. How big is it? So it's 14, I believe it's 14 inches across, and it is it's about almost 3 inches deep. So, you know, you can fit, I don't know, I'm gonna do in my initial burn-in, I'm gonna fill that up with Kingsford Blue. I'm gonna light it on one side and let it go and see how long it goes. All right, same question on the indirect plate as to what's the diameter of that, and that is 18 inches across. And then the area that's indented, I would assume that's to catch some grease. If you were on a level surface, you could put a little bit of water in there too. They help me clean up a little easier. That's 13 across. And this, I'm pretty sure, is aluminum. Somebody was asking me if it's double walled. I don't believe it is. It's just a thicker piece of aluminum. They'd round it over this side right here. That gives you the impression maybe that it is double walled. But it's heavy duty. It's pretty heavy, and I like the little handles on it. Nicely done by Weber. All right, back to the vent. People are asking if you keep the hinge on, and like I said, it's not that big of a deal to take that off. It's just loosening that and pulling it off. And I think you could do it while it's warm because you've got somewhat of a cool touch handle over here, and there's your handle for your lid over there, and that's definitely a cool touch. So I don't think taking it off if you wanted to move the lid while you're doing indirect wouldn't be hard. But if you're doing an indirect using the setup that I came with the indirect plate, let's take a look at that. Or if I'm indirect and I've got that charcoal basket filled up underneath, I'm probably going to light it away from the vent. Our vent is over there. So I'm going to light it on this side, knowing that it's going to go toward the draw, and the draw is right there. So that's how I would do it with this setup. Let's take a look at, let's just say if you were using the Weber charcoal baskets. All right, so if I'm using the charcoal baskets that come with the Master Touch Premium, this is how I would set it up. Now, there's my vent over there. As you can see, my vent is over there. So my vent would be over the food, which is in the middle. And then I'd fill my charcoal up in my baskets, and I would light on the corners away from the vent. That way, the draw going through would bring it toward that side. At least that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I'll tell you what, if you have a slow and sear, and a lot of us have slow and sears, let's take a look at how I would set it up for that. All right, so there's my slow and sear in there, along with my drip and grill. You can see they both fit just fine in their Master Touch Premium. And I've got it opposite. I've got my opposite of the vent. So that's where the charcoal's gonna go, and that's where the food's gonna go on that side. And you can light it on either side or both sides or in the middle, wherever you wanna do it. And it'll work just fine in here. So those are your three options for indirect cooking. And like I said, having the hinge offset, a lot of people are complaining, saying, hang on, let's put a grate in there. It'll make it a little bit more realistic. All right, I got the grate from the slow and sear in there because it's wide enough and fits good with the slow and sear. As you can see, that fits in there, no problem. Now, that gives you an idea how accessible, even with the hinge back there on that side, and a lot of people complained about this, but I think maybe one of the reasons they offset it, besides maybe being over the wheel, was to give you that accessibility over there so you can indirect and still have good access to the food. So that's my thoughts, folks. So I tell you what, let's continue on. All right, next question is, am I going to be doing a comparison between the Weber and S&S grill? Yes, I will, folks. I have every intention of doing that. It'll be coming up in a video. Tom Horseman YouTube, folks. Keep on watching for that. Let's get to the other questions. I had a question if they're going to sell that separately. And boy, I wish they would, because wouldn't that be awesome on here? I mean, the handle's already in the front. It would be. So I got an email in the Weber. They haven't responded yet, but I just sent it today. So, when I find out, I'll let you folks know. Questions on the cost, folks. $319 online, Weber.com. It does include shipping, and that's what it is. This is August of 2020. Maybe those prices will change. People are asking a little bit about this. That's where you would put your iGrill. I don't have an iGrill, but you could put your favorite beverage on there, although be careful because it's really not indented for it, but it'll work. Pretty cool. All right, folks, I think I covered pretty much most of your questions you've had on this grill. Like I said, ask yours. This is a great way of getting your questions out and letting everybody else know what the answers are. So feel free to ask your question. Tom Horseman at YouTube, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. Thumbs up, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I really can't say it enough. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you.